As you respond to that, let's get to the second part of the question, which is how do we actually fix this? How do we prevent kids of any president, regardless of their political party?
The way you fix this is you have intellectually honest people call out corruption where they see it, whether it's on the Democratic side or the Republican side. Somehow I could see it on both sides, whereas Charlie Kirk thinks Daddy Trump did nothing wrong.
Look, I'll ask you again, Kyle. Show me one deal that they signed since they became president.
My dude, I don't know if you're listening or not, but I said very clearly.
Can you name another deal?
Okay, are you going to let me talk?
Just name a deal.
Are you going to let me talk?
You
don't make $83 million in 1 year when Daddy is president as an oopsie.
Right. So their income the year before that was $90 million and $95 million. They did business before they went into the White House, so they did not sign any new deals.
This is the cute little trick.
You do recognize that, right, Kyle?
Because as soon as I say, well, hold on now, it's proven that he took $300,000 from the Saudis while in office, he's like, oh, that doesn't count either.
Well,
so whether they're in office or they're out of office, it doesn't matter, and it's not corruption. Well, isn't that fucking convenient? That's super convenient, isn't it?
Here's the other thing that really fascinates me. Maybe you can explain it to me, Kyle. Is that when you own international assets and you become president of the United States, are you just supposed to sell everything?
Yes!
Really? Wow. Wow. So let's build out this argument. So you got it. Hold on, Kyle. You spend 50 years building a business from nothing, fighting back bankruptcy,
with Daddy's
renegotiating
money,
creditors, employing hundreds of thousands of people over 50 years. And then you give that business to your kids. That's not good enough. You somehow have to sell everything in a fire sale to try to appease the media and the far left wing.
There was a president, excuse me.
You will not be perfectly happy until Donald Trump's net worth goes down significantly. Basically, what this is all about is in search of corruption that does not exist.
Oh, please.
The reason it does not exist is that Republicans and conservatives are held to such an unrealistically high standard. If President Trump's sons were going around to China right now, seeking out money, seeking out deals, it would be all over the news. Hunter Biden, you know this. Hunter Biden went to Ukraine for
You sure know how to talk a lot, don't you?
I'm sorry, what?
You sure know how to talk a lot.
But Kyle, you should start refuting what I'm saying, not swearing and walking around.
You're just not listening.
All right. Kyle, I'll let you give the last word.
Charlie Kirk is so right over here. First of all, Kyle Kulinski, all he's doing is dropping F-bombs, dropping S-bombs, dropping all kinds of vulgar bombs all there. Okay, walking around the stage like a rooster, okay, that has his, cock, clucked or whatever. I mean, this is just unbelievable here. This happens every single effing time when the left starts a debate or can't use proper debate tactics or refute the facts that somebody's presenting or refute, the words that someone is presenting. And what do? They either drop the R word, racist, the B word, bigot, by God, the I word, insurrectionist, homophobe, this phobe, that phobe. If that doesn't work, then guess what? Go down to the F-bombs, go down to the swear words, go down to all kinds of other tactics, roll your head, roll your eyes, move around the stage. They all do it. Hassan Piker did it in his thing, using F-bombs, getting upset, histrionics, sank the Jenk, Uyghur of the Young Turks, the Young Jerks. He does the same thing, that bloviating buffoon. When he starts to get upset and mad, everything comes just crashing down. So the whole question you've got to ask yourself is, destroy the businesses, destroy the lives of the people that have jobs. They won't have jobs anymore if you start selling off your assets all over the world. And you're going to be able to do that, just like that. Just because Kyle Kulinski and his leftist acolytes, those in the crowd there, those socialist Marxists over there, they can have their opinion. That's perfectly fine. But sometimes their opinions are just simmering. They're just stupid. They're just idiotic. They're just moronic. They're just retarded. I mean, this idea, when he says, so he's just supposed to sell his assets? Yes, he's supposed. Now you get it. Now you said it, Charlie. And he struts around the stage. Kyle Kulinski. I mean, folks, I don't even know how you could put that into. I don't even, it would be something to say. Maybe there's a way. I don't know what there is, but there has to be a way somehow that if somebody's there coming up with that kind of money, but you can't penalize it, but it would be in a way that you present it nicely to say, but these histrionics, these fits that you're having, basically you're having a hissy fit. Now, unless you're going to tell me, Kyle, Kulinski, that you decide to become a woman on stage for that short period of time, to have that emotional breakdown. Oh boy, I'm going to get that now from the feminazi crowd. They're going to come after me on that one, saying, oh, you're saying women are histrionic, women are emotional. Yeah, they are. And guess what? So are men. As Kyle Kulinski has so aptly proved this time. Anyways, let's get back to the debate.
No, this will be very simple, and I'll go right to the point, unlike him. So there's a president by the name of Jimmy Carter. He had a fucking peanut farm, and he had to sell his peanut farm because the Supreme Court rightly said, you know what, man, that could be an issue because you could have foreign governments funneling you money through your peanut farm, and we can't have corruption. We're supposed to be a first world country. But somehow this fucking president gets to have hotels all over the world, a hotel in D.C., the Saudis funneling him money. Let me say this one more time, and this will be the final time. If this was the Clinton Foundation, I would be just as up in arms. But when it's the Trumps, I'm up in arms and you're not, and that says a lot.
All right. Final question on the international stage. We talked at the beginning of this debate about the working class and the Rust Belt. Are we winning the trade war?
It depends. Look, I think one of the longest lasting and most important legacies of this president is reorienting our entire foreign policy towards our greatest enemy, which is the Chinese Communist Party. Both parties, Bush and Obama together, had a bipartisan agreement to try to continue to allow China to dump products into our country and hack our cyber grids and build Confucius Institutes on our college campuses while middle America was continually disenfranchised. And guess what? There's going to be I believe, a very good deal struck on trade with China very, very soon. And China has been screwing the world for so long. They have the world's second biggest economy, yet they're still classified as a developing nation. They're allowed to pollute unrestricted without any sort of oversight whatsoever. And this president, I think there's a lot of bipartisan agreement. I think you'll agree with this, Kyle, reorienting our entire foreign policy and our entire national conversation against the rise of China. And guess what? I totally stand with the people of Hong Kong, unlike the National Basketball Association that just wants to continue the money flow from China coming there. And so, look, I think absolutely, and we've already seen President Trump renegotiate NAFTA, yet Nancy Pelosi refuses to move the USMCA through Congress. We've seen President Donald Trump sign a historic trade deal with Vietnam, sign a historic trade deal with Japan. And guess what? I'm a big believer in bilateral trade deals. I think the Trans-Pacific Partnership, my goodness, NAFTA, TPP, all this stuff should be blown up and done bilateral trade deals one by one, and that's much more long-term sustainable than just having these globalist type, trade deals that benefit the rich, the few, and the well-connected.
All right. Kyle.
The question was about...
Are we winning the trade war?
Yeah, that's a complicated question. You have to look at the net job loss or job gain. And there are some specific industries that did well as a result of the tariffs that Trump put out there. I think the steel industry is doing better as a result of that. But then there is this other backlash effect where other industries are hurt by it. So if you look at the total job loss or job gain, I do believe we're a little bit in the negative. So I think there's a case to be made that we're not winning the trade war. However, I will say I actually don't disagree with the idea that you have to do something because this country has absolutely been destroyed since our manufacturing base was just gutted, and that has to do with NAFTA, that has to do with permanent normal trade relations with China, that has to do with, all these trade deals. I mean, just point blank period, it was all for the rich and the corporations, and it screwed over workers, and we should have never done those deals in the first place. I think that's one of the main reasons why Donald Trump won is because he went to the Rust Belt and he told those people, I'm going to bring your jobs back and all this stuff. So, it's a complicated question. I think we need to do something on trade. I don't think I trust Trump in the exact way that he's going about dealing with it.
All right.
Well, then you should come up with your own solutions that are basically just saying it's complicated. It's a complicated question. If you can't come up with some answers and specifics, like Charlie Kirk did in terms of what Trump is doing, and just basically that I just don't agree with the way Trump is handling it, well, you have no freaking clue as to how he's handling it, and you don't even have a single answer yourself. Whether it's good or bad, whatever your premise is going to be, how are you going to present that and say, well, this is what I think that would be done, that should be done, that Trump should institute to increase the worker base, to bring back those jobs, to allow those manufacturing jobs to come back to the United States, either the ones that we shipped overseas before through NAFTA and all that other crap going on, or how do we build that manufacturing base back up again? You should have an idea, because if you don't have an idea, here's what you ought to do, Kyle Kulinski. Here's what you ought to do. Watch very carefully. And never open your mouth again until you have an answer for the question other than, it's very complicated. I don't know.
So final.
Folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasser Shake Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasser. If you've been done so already, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow us. You all know what to do. Check out our other video links above and below. My final thought, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.